утро. Because the mornings are already quite warm. I've started getting off the city bus 2 stops earlier and walk the rest of the way to work. I've been doing it for the past few mornings, almost without thinking about it. Since I work right in the city center, those 2 stops aren't very far apart anyway, and it's such a pleasant walk along the channel, surrounded by beautiful architecture. I like to come to work at 7 in the morning, and at this hour, everything is still peaceful and quiet. The shops and cafes haven't opened yet, and there are very few people around in this area at this hour. The walk only takes about 15 minutes, but it relaxes me immediately, gets my blood moving a little, and clears my mind before the workday begins. It fills me with good energy that stays with me throughout the entire day. It also fits perfectly with my commitment to move my body every day. With summer days approaching, it feels like the perfect time to add a little morning movement to my routine. Besides, warm weather always makes me want to be more outdoors. I've found my own small way of being more active early in the day, and I'm genuinely enjoying it. I, for example, really admire people who wake up early and go for a run before work. I truly do. But I also know myself well enough to admit that this is never going to be my thing. I love my sleep far too much to get up an extra hour earlier just to work out. I'm definitely more of an evening workout person, and I really enjoy my slow, peaceful mornings. The best part is that this little walk only takes a few minutes, so I didn't have to make any drastic changes to my schedule or routine. I still work out almost every evening, but I wanted to bring a little movement into my mornings as well. I needed something small that fits naturally into my life and makes me feel a little better every day. Small steps really do add up, and it just takes a little morning boost to carry that positive energy throughout the rest of the day. I finally installed the planter boxes where I'll be growing vegetables on my balcony. I'm really excited for this project, and I've already organized the plants the way I want them to be. Starting from the left, at the back, I have onions that I grow from seeds, and in front of them, I'll be planting kale. Since kale is harvested by picking the lower leaves as it grows, the onions should still have plenty of room to develop. I absolutely love kale because it's so versatile. You can use it in just about any dish. Personally, I love kale in salads and vegetable soups. And one of the best things about kale is that you can grow and enjoy it all year round. It's tough enough to handle winter and won't freeze, even during the colder months. It might not grow much when it gets really cold, but it won't be damaged by frost and will start growing again when temperatures rise. Next, I'll be planting chard. And I have to say, I've completely fallen in love with these colorful ones. It adds such a beautiful color to meals and makes everything look a little more exciting. This is another vegetable that you can put in just about anything, and I love adding leafy greens to my meals whenever I can. Chard has a much mild flavor, so it doesn't interfere with the overall taste of the dish. Unlike kale, it's not quite as hardy, but it starts growing again very quickly in spring, so you can get another harvest in early spring before it starts to flower. On this side of the planter box, I'm also going to plant some basil and tomato plant. Most of my vegetables are already planted out in the garden, and my garden is actually just down below. I can literally step on my balcony and watch my vegetables grow. I've always been curious to see how vegetables would do in planter boxes on the balcony. One of the main reasons is that the plants are much more sheltered here, and I'm wondering if that might give them a longer growing season. I could even turn these planters into a mini greenhouse in the fall and extend the season even further. In the next planter is going to be another basil that's a little different from the classic green basil on the other side. I'm going to cut it first before putting it in the soil. Some of it I will use for a lunch today, and from the rest, I'm gonna make pesto. In the back, I'm going to plant more onions. The first onions I showed you were grown from seeds, but this one though, I'm growing from bulbs. I'll be harvesting the onions while they are still young, and then I'll immediately pop another bulb into the same spot, so there's always a fresh batch growing. In the rest of the planter, I'll be growing a miniature orange pepper, some parsley in the back, and one more kale plant. I'd also like to tuck a few lettuce seeds here and there throughout the entire planters and harvest them while they are still young, so it won't take too much space. I know, it seems like a lot for such a small space, but I'm going to give it a try and see how it goes. That's part of the fun after all. I'm excited to see how everything grows over the next few months. And of course, I'll bring you along with me. Today, I'm also making a super simple lunch, quick to prepare, but really delicious and full of nutrients. I've got some chicken thighs that I'm going to bake in the oven. I'll season them with olive oil, a little mustard, salt, and pepper. Nothing complicated at all. I'll place them in a baking dish, set the oven to 180 degrees Celsius, and let them bake for about an hour. Meanwhile, I'll prepare the side dish. I'm making stuffed zucchini with cottage cheese and basil. This lunch was actually inspired by my balcony kitchen garden. While it's not my vegetable yet, it's still going to be delicious. And this is where I'll be using some of the basil I picked earlier. I'll blend them together in a food processor, along with some olive oil and a pinch of salt. I'll slice zucchini into thin strips. Then I'll place two of these strips in a cross shape. Add about 2 teaspoons of filling in the center, and then wrap it up. I often add mozzarella or parmesan to the filling as well, but I'm not doing this today. This is actually really easy to make, but it's fun because it's a little different. I love making dishes like this, especially during hot summer days, because they are so fresh and light, so perfect for a warm day like today. Since there's nothing inside that actually needs to be cooked, they only need about 10 to 15 minutes in the oven, just enough time for everything to warm through. You can also pan fry them, but I find it much easier to just put them in the oven. I usually try to plan meals, so whenever I decided to make something in the oven for lunch, I try to plan the meals so that everything else can also be baked together in the oven. It saves so much time, and while it's baking, you can get other things done. That's why I love making oven dishes so much. You just put everything in, and in the meantime, you're free to do something else. For me, it's the perfect opportunity to tidy up the kitchen, so I don't have a big mess waiting for me later. course, there has to be a salad. I'm so happy because I have plenty of it growing in my garden outside. And that's it. Today's lunch took just a little over an hour from start to finish. While the chicken was in the oven, I made the stuffed zucchini, picked some fresh salad from the garden, and prepared it. And even had time to do a little kitchen cleanup.
Yeah.
We decided after lunch that we are going for a walk. This hill is very close to our home, so we often go for a walk up here. We took my partner's mom's dog, and she is really hyperactive, so this hill is perfect for her. And I didn't need to work out this evening, because this walk was actually quite intense. Thank you for being here with me. Have a lovely day, and see you in my next one.
Grima. Nos vemos. Grima.